Fit Like Abdi, Danny Boy here, and welcome to an episode of Transport Fever. It's not really an episode, it's more like a question. Now, before the question gets asked, I'll explain a little about what is going on. So, just before September, I went away. I was working on making the America map, rebuilding it sort of better. All was going well. I only had like a few more lines to go in, and then I got sent away. Now, I wanted to record the Transport Fever episodes on the desktop computer. It does work on the laptop. This is actually being recorded on the laptop right now because I am currently still away. So I went away in September. I came home. I then went on holiday for 2 weeks. I was in London and then I was in Dubai. The things that were showing over that 2 weeks were made prior to me going. So I had a few days off before where I managed to rack up a few videos and get them sent out. Now, there was a time recently where there was about 4 or 5 days without videos. That's because I got sent away. So I came back from holiday. I did 3 weeks offshore where I had no access. The rig I was on the internet was terrible. I didn't have a room of my own, so I couldn't really record anything on the laptop. So it was kind of a bummer. I then got sent to Israel, so I'm here presently. And I do have my own room. I'm actually sitting in the hotel room right now because the ship we're working on is going in to get some work done, so we've got some time off. Probably about a week. That's the estimated time to get the ship back up and running for going back out. So I'm on the laptop right now. Now, presently I am playing Rise of Industry and Anno 1800. 2 games which work perfectly on the laptop. They do, without a shadow of a doubt. I was extremely delighted to see that Anno 1800 ran so well on the laptop. And I'm happy that there's at least 2 things on the channel we can sort of do. Now, one of the statements I made before was that there would always be Transport Fever on this channel. Now, because I've had a lot of time away, I have been building up the USA map, and it was almost ready to go. Everything was in bar fields, like cow fields for milk and meat, grain silos. Just the farming stuff. None of the farming stuff had been reintroduced because I wanted to organise it better. And then I had an issue. I got another mod was removed. Fortunately, it was a mod that didn't affect me. It was like assets for making a graveyard. I was like, oh, that's fine. Because I downloaded a lot of cosmetic stuff for doing like I was going to do like a high detailing series that quickly faded to just building up parts of America with industries you find in certain parts of America and the sort of train lines that run through it. And then I had another problem. I had another mod that I wasn't even sure what it was. I unsubscribed to it and then I couldn't get the game back. Now, I checked against every single train that I currently had, all the vehicles, etc. And the only thing I can think of is that it was a script mod. Now, I was kind of downhearted, but so I went sort of back through other saves, and it was like way back, and I was like sort of really annoyed. I was like, oh my god, it took me ages to get from, I remember doing that save to where the game is now, almost ready to start, and it was going to take absolutely ages. And the thing is, by the time I rebuild it again, Transport Fever 2 will probably be out. Now, one of the things I wanted to do was have like a Transport Fever of old and Transport Fever 2 running at the same time, so we could sort of see the comparisons between the two. Now, that might still happen, but I want to play Transport Fever, and one of the things I wanted to do was an epic challenge, like what Skystorm did, where you have to try and get every product to every city. Now, I selected this map back in the day Now, some of you may recognise this map. It's a map I used for one of the races, or a venue I used for one of the at the races rounds. And this is the Mountain Islands maps. As you can see, it's got like Jotunheimer, Bud Spencerton, Asgard, things that are named from places, movies, computer games. There we go, Booty Bay, Midgard, Have Fun, Bucharest, Polito Bay. Polito Bay is in Grand Theft Auto. Sin City, Pirate Bay, Plastic Bay, Paul Walker's Legoland, Los Santos, that's also GTA. So, I wanted to do an epic challenge here, but I wanted to throw a twist in, and I wanted to do it with the New Industries mod. The actual full-blown DLC, which turned out to be not so good. It does work up to a certain point. It's littered with many bugs. It's literally like playing in a minefield. The slightest click of the wrong thing could just crash the game. I did play for it, experimented with it a bit. I also did a video on it showcasing all the new industries. It looked super cool and a lot of fun. There was new things like fishing and making cars and stuff like that, and it looked awesome. But certain things just made it too unreliable to use as a series. But the previous build of the New Industries mod, the one I was using on the USA map, works just great. Now, I do like a challenge. As you can see, this map is not the flattest. We've got a lot of island places. Now, I know an epic challenge, every product, every city on here would be probably nigh impossible. If I bring up industries, what's industries under this? No, that. There we go. Excuse me. Now, as you can see, some of the new industries they're in. Here's a grain silo that requires fertilizer. Here's a cotton field. There is a dairy farm. Stuff like that. There's paper. Now, I just let the game plant these in anywhere. I set the map to spawn with industries. Now, there is a mod that gets you things like fertilizer straight off the bat, instead of having to wait till the 1900s to get it, because fertilizer wasn't really that big a thing in the 1850s. Also, things like bauxite mines and aluminium mines don't spawn. Things like race car tracks, power stations, they all come in later. Now, the thing is, I don't know if they will spawn in later, or I'll have to place them. I had a look at these. Some of these are a bit crowded, but they all seem to be down here, so you can't really spawn anything on these hellholes. But I wanted to use this map. I was going to stick with the American theme, because it was a USA playthrough I was doing, and just sort of play this and have this running in the background even when Transport Fever 2 comes out, because Transport Fever 2 is going to be vanilla right at the very start, and then they're going to open up the workshop, and then it's going to get flooded with mods, probably ones transferred or ported from Transport Fever 1, which I don't think is an issue, because a lot of the mods that were transported from Train Fever to Transport Fever 1 were really good. So Transport Fever 2 is going to be vanilla, obviously, at the start. Now, there are some new things, map building, compartmented stations where you can build certain parts on it and not just have to plant a station. But Transport Fever 2 looks like it's not going to be coming out till December, so I'm kind of left with a hole where I would like to play Transport Fever. Now, like I said, an epic challenge would probably be quite impossible. Now, and before I even start, we're going to have to get rid of stuff like this. This is quite horrific, but when you flatten all this stuff out, it doesn't look half bad. Now, obviously there's a lot of trees and things, and I would just do the areas that are sort of open field, and then get going. I think I would actually as well, we would be playing with money on as well to make it more of a challenge. We'd also be forced to use ships and transport planes a lot more, because there's a few industries and there's a lot of cities that are out in islands that we can't really build bridges over to. Also, this map requires you to initialize the no initial roads mod, so there are no roads between cities, which is also good because although the cities will grow slower, they will in fact what will they do? They will in fact use transport more, so that's kind of cool. But I need to sort out this sort of mess. Now that's something I could probably do in a day. I would gift myself one passenger train line, just to sort of get rolling, and then I would switch the money back on. Now one line's not that bad. I would probably make it an intercity train to build up a few cities and just to get some cash rolling in, because Transport Fever, not gonna lie, is dead slow at the start of gameplay. Oh yes, very slow indeed. Not much happens. It's basically you have to set up a route that makes decent kind of money, supplies one or two cities, and wait for that money to roll in. Projects are expensive. If there's no flat terrain, they can become even more so expensive. And I would also like to demolish some of these cities. Now Bud Spencerton is fine, but I'd like some roads heading out and around it. So that's the sort of plan I've got. Now we'll actually go and have a proper look around the map. So there are about 40 cities, I think, in total. Now I've got names for these cities. I'll leave it as a surprise if I decide to go ahead with this, but sooner rather than later. Like, all this stuff here needs to be flattened. Now some of it looks pretty cool though, but I would like it flattened. So we've got industries lying around. Now the thing is, I counted most of them. There are about 5 of each industry on the map, but there's like 40 cities. So that means one industry is going to have to supply 8 cities. Now I do have the mod to add stuff, I would assume, when other things come out. For example, power stations and stuff, that I would have to fire them in on my own. And I'm just having a quick look around the map here. Oh, there is construction materials plant. See, if we take this for example, there's one here that would probably have to do Helgoland, Afstalsboom, Jatlov, Bud Spencerton, and Osterfriesland. Probably Asgard as well. Probably even Jotunheimer as well, because there's not another one. Where is another one? Now I may be wrong. I counted roughly 4 or 5 for each one, but I cannot see for the life of me another construction goods area. Now there probably is, but I'm just blind and can't see it. Ah, there's one up here. So it's stone and slag. Stone and slag make a brick. Keep an eye out. Stone and slag make a brick. Right. Something. There's stone. Stone and slag make a brick. No, nothing up here. See, there's nothing at this side at all. Now there are paper factories and stuff littered around. Now there's more stuff. Stone and slag. Make a brick. No, so 2. There are only 2. This one and this one over here. And there are no more. Holy crap. Right, so it would be quite impossible to get... I may add in a few more somewhere. Now we seem to have a lot of tools and stuff. But oh well. So, there you have it. There's the map. There's my sort of crazy idea. I think it'll be interesting. Now, first thing I thought is there's probably not much room for trains. But we can have like bridges and stuff going over here. They don't all have to be by ship. Probably Dyatlov would probably get a ship dock in here for goods and something else. We'd maybe have to move the city around. But it'd be interesting. And ships and planes and things are not things we often get to use a lot of. Now this mountain range here makes it probably nigh impossible. Just take tunnels through here, so we're probably going to need flights that fly across here. It's going to be interesting. And I am kind of looking forward to doing this. I'll let you guys sort of decide on it. But yeah. That is the plan. So let me know what you think. Booty Bay just chilling out there. Okay, so that is the sort of plan. Now I do apologise for the USA playthrough sort of discontinuing, but I just can't get it. It won't load on the laptop. Now I even tried... on the ship, there's offices on the ship, which we call a service office, where the service hands or service companies sit, and it's sort of like an office space for us to do our own sort of paperwork and like have meetings and stuff like that. There's computers in there. Some of them are quite decent because they need to be handle like technical drawings and stuff like that. I even put the save game on a hard drive and try to get it on one of those computers. I actually went on, signed on to my Steam account, downloaded Transport Fever onto the computer in the service office, which we're not actually supposed to do, but the game worked fine. One of the guys actually saw me and has now installed Football Manager on one of the computers, and I was like, oh no, started a trend here. And a bad one at that, because we're not supposed to be doing that. I just did it as an experiment, and again I couldn't get the game to load with all the mods and everything installed. Took me ages to get every mod transferred from Steam onto that computer, and again it still didn't work. Now I may go home at the end of November, or probably in December. It looks like I'm going to get home now, and it may work. I may fire up my desktop computer in the house. It may run perfectly. Now there is some stuff I did on the laptop, but it wouldn't take me long to re-add it onto the desktop computer, and it might work. But my fear is that it probably won't, and I'll have wasted all that time with no Transport Fever for ages. So I think I'll go with this, but you guys let me know in the comments. And, yep, leave a like or comment. Let me know what you think. I've been Danny Boy. This has been a Transport Fever question. And I will catch you later.